Every year, right after that first big rain washes away a long, dry spell, the air suddenly fills with thousands of frantic, winged creatures. Here, we call them Laron. They flood our homes, swarm around our lights, and then, just as quickly as they appeared, they're gone. We usually just brush them off as annoying little pests. But the real story behind the Laron is far more dramatic, far more noble, and honestly, far more tragic than you could ever imagine. You see, these Laron aren't a separate species. They are the chosen royalty of an unseen kingdom, sent out on a one-way trip of survival, sacrifice, and their journey is a brutal gamble, where less than 1% will survive to build the next dynasty. To understand the Laron, you first need to understand the termite colony they come from. Right beneath our feet, there's a complex, sprawling metropolis. A kingdom ruled by a queen whose entire existence is dedicated to one thing: laying eggs. In this kingdom, society is strictly divided. The vast majority are the workers. They are blind, sterile, and spend their entire lives building tunnels, feeding the colony, and maintaining the infrastructure. Then, there are the soldiers. They're equipped with massive, terrifying jaws, and their only job is defense. They're so specialized for fighting that they can't even feed themselves. The workers have to do it for them. But the Laron, they are the third elite caste. They are the reproductive males and females, the colony's princes and princesses. Unlike their pale, blind siblings who live their whole lives in darkness, the Laron undergo a complete transformation. They develop fully functional eyes to navigate the world above ground. They grow dark skin, a natural sunscreen to protect them from the sun's deadly UV rays, and most importantly, they grow strong, elegant wings for the incredible journey that lies ahead. Their development is tightly controlled by the reigning queen. She releases chemical signals, or pheromones, that act as inhibitors, preventing these young reproductive termites from maturing. For years, they wait in the wings, literally. But when the colony gets large and mature, usually after about 3 to 5 years, the population becomes too dense. The queen senses this and reduces the amount of inhibitory pheromones she releases. This is the signal. The next generation of royalty is now officially ready for exile. Their preparation for this great flight is intense. For days, sometimes even weeks before they emerge, the Laron stop will work. They don't lift a single grain of dirt. Instead, they are treated like true royalty. The worker caste pampers them, feeding them the highest quality food available, rich in protein and carbohydrates. Their mission is to gorge themselves, to accumulate as much fat as possible. These fat reserves are absolutely critical. This fat will be their only source of energy during their grueling flight, and for the first solitary months of building a new nest at a time, when they won't eat at all, they wait for the perfect moment. A humid, still evening, usually right after that first rain, has softened the hard, dry ground, making it possible for them to dig. Then, as if on cue, thousands of them burst out of the ground at the exact same time. This is the nuptial flight, and it is a desperate, mass gamble against almost certain death. Once they are airborne, the world becomes a battlefield. They are slow, clumsy flyers, making them incredibly easy targets. They become high-protein snacks for bats, swooping through the night sky, for birds, for lizards and frogs waiting on the ground. But perhaps their greatest modern threat is our own technology. Our bright, artificial lights, from street lamps to the lamp in your living room, completely messed with their natural navigation systems. They're drawn to the light, flying around it aimlessly until they are utterly exhausted. They then fall to the ground, where a second wave of predators, like ants, is waiting to pick them off one by one. The survival rates are astronomically low. Out of the thousands that take to the sky in a single flight, maybe only a tiny fraction will succeed. We're talking less than 1%. For those incredibly lucky few that survive the predators and the chaos of the lights, the next step is perhaps the most symbolic of all. They must get rid of their wings. Those glorious wings, the very things that gave them their freedom, have now become a burden. They're a hindrance to digging and starting a new life underground. So, they find a surface, and they deliberately snap them off at predetermined fracture points along their back. Their tool for escape is now a liability. Now wingless and vulnerable on the ground, the Laron have a new urgent task. Find a partner? The female, the future queen, begins to release a specialized pheromone, a chemical love song. The male, the future king, picks up her scent and follows diligently, often walking so closely behind her, it looks like they're a tiny 2-car train. This is called tandem running. If they get separated, they fail. The journey ends there. Together, the surviving couple searches frantically for the perfect spot to start their new kingdom. They are looking for a moist crack in the earth or a piece of rotting wood, something that offers both food and shelter. Once they find it, they dig a small, secure chamber and seal themselves inside. This tiny sanctuary has a name, the copularium. It is their marriage chamber. And this is where termites do something remarkable, something that sets them apart from many other insects. In a lot of insect species, the male dies shortly after mating. His job is done. But not the termite king. The male Laron remains with his queen. He is a monogamous partner for life, a life that can last for decades. He stays by her side, helping her care for the very first generation of eggs. They start small, just the two of them, nurturing the first few workers who will eventually grow up and take over all the laborious tasks of building and foraging. This frees up the king and queen to focus solely on their royal duty, reproduction, ensuring the future of their new empire. But what about the ones that fail? The 99%, the tragic truth is, there is no going home. The nuptial flight is a one-way ticket. A Laron that fails to find a mate, or gets lost, or even tries to re-enter its original colony, is no longer recognized as family. Its own siblings, the very soldiers that once protected it, will now see it as an intruder. They will attack and kill it immediately, treating it as an invasive threat. The life of the Laron is a brilliant, brief flash of destiny. They sacrifice the comfort and safety of their home. They brave a world that seems determined to kill them, and they face a high probability of being killed by their own family if they fail. They do all of this for one reason, to ensure the continuation of their species. So, the next time you see those winged creatures swarming around a light, remember they're not just pests, gambling everything for a chance to become king and queen. Thanks for watching! If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow along for more incredible stories from the natural world. See you next time!